Hi guys, this would be another log for this channel. So this is a rush update for this channel, so I hope you liked it. It is a very simple CRUD app. You can actually create, redo, update and delete. It is a rush making, so I hope you enjoyed it, and let's get started. Now create a Supabase project, name Simple CRUD App. Then we're going to generate the password, then change the region to Southeast Asia, then create the project. Now we're going to wait to setting up our project. Here in Supabase, all we need is the project URL and the API keys. Now we're going to reload our page. Then here we have our project URL and an API key. So let's go to SQL editor and create the table. Delete the SQL code, and we're going to copy and paste the SQL code that we already prepared. Then run it. Now let's go to other tab, and we're going to copy this additional code for Android manifest to enable the Android deep linking. So in the Android manifest, under the main folder, now we're going to copy paste there, and we're going to arrange our code. So save that and close our readme.md file. Now in the terminal, we're going to add the Supabase _ Flutter package. Then we're going to run the Flutter pubget. Then close the terminal. Now inside the lib folder, we're going to create a folder called pages. Now we're going to create a home_page.dart file. Then we're going to import Flutter materials. Then we're going to create a stateful widget called homepage. Then we're going to replace the container with scaffold. Now save that and close. Then we're going to create another file named signin_page.dart file. Then let's going to import the material.dart file. Then let's call that a sign-in page. Then replace the container with a scaffold. Then close the file. Then let's create again another file called signup_page.dart file. Then import the material.dart file. Then create a stateful widget called sign up page. Then replace the container with scaffold. Now let's create a new folder called utils. Then create a file called utils.dart file. Then we're going to import the material.dart file, and then import the Supabase _ Flutter. Now we're going to initialize a client's instance of a Supabase. And then we're going to create our custom snack bar, the called show snack bar. It is an extension of a show snack bar on a build context. Then we will have a function called a show snack bar. Then it will have a string. So that string of text will hold the message that we wanted to show to a snack bar. So under the snack bar widget, we will have a content of text widget, and that text widget will have the text. Then we will have a text style with a color of red accent. Now back to the main file, we're going to clean our code here. So delete some code, delete unnecessary code. And then we will have a debug show checked mode banner. We will have a debug show checked mode banner to false. Then replace our title with Simple CRUD application. So we're going to import the Supabase _ Flutter. Then in the main, will be a feature and a sync function. Then the main function will be a feature and a sync function. Then the feature work well with a sync in dark language. Now inside the main function, we're going to bind with widget Flutter binding to ensure the initialization of our Supabase. Then we're going to initialize our Supabase. Now go back to the browser, then copy the URL and the API key from the Supabase project that we created. And then now we're going to create a stateful widget called my widget. For now, this will be an empty widget. Then we're going to save that. In the my app class, we're going to initialize the initial routes and routes. In initial routes, we will have the client. It will be imported automatically. So the client auth that a current session. If the current session is not null, it will show the homepage. But if it's null, else it will show the widget, the my widget, or the root page. So the root page will be my widget. The homepage will be a homepage. So the sign in would be a sign in page. Then the sign up would be the sign up page. Now save. We have an error. We're going to stop the application. Then we're going to rerun it. so that everything will load properly. Now I'm going to resize the application. And then, inside the My Widget, we're going to build the UI. We will have the text widget and a sign in button and a sign up button. So replace the container with scaffold. We will have a body of center, child with column. So the column will have a main axis alignment to center, and we will have a children, then cons text with a value of welcome. Then save that. Now we have a welcome text. Then we're going to add a style. Then the font will be 30. And then we will have a row widget, and the main axis alignment would be center and the children, and then we will have a children of outline button. For sign in and sign up. Now save it, restart. It's not showing. What's the problem? Okay, it started. Nothing shows up. Let's see. It's still not. Oh, we're going to stop the application, then rerun it. Nothing shows. Let's delete the row, save that, rerun. Oh, nothing. Okay, let's open our terminal and type Flutter run, and then choose the Linux. Now we have an error, import Dart HTML up here. We need to delete that. Then we're going to bring back our row widget, then delete the Dart, the import HTML Dart file. So we're going to save that, close it, and rerun the application. So we're going to resize our application, reposition it, and then close that. And now, we're going to replace our center to space evenly. Then we will have a spacer. We're going to use size box with a height of 50. Let's change that with 30. Save that. And we're going to supply navigation functionality for our sign in and sign up button widget. So we're going to navigate sign in to sign in page. For sign up button, we're going to navigate it to sign up page. Save that. Now if we're going to press our sign in button, sign up button, it's working properly. Now let's go to let's open the sign in underscore page.r file, and we're going to navigate to the sign in page. Now okay, we're going to initialize a controller or additional controller for email and password controller. Then we will have a form key for validation and for loading. So we will have an underscore is loading for our loading. So we will have a final text editing controller called underscore email controller, and initializing the text editing controller same as well as the underscore password controller. So we will have a underscore form key, then that will be a global key and a form state. Then we will have as loading is load underscore is loading. The value will be false. The initial value will be false. Now we will have a sign in underscore sign in functionality. So it is a sign in functionality, obviously. So this function will be a future and a async function. So we are going to require the email and the password. Then we're going to set the loading to true, and then we will have a try catch blocked to catch the auth exception. Then we're going to await the client, and it will be automatically imported for us. Then we're going to have an auth, then a sign in with password. That sign in password will have the email and password. So here we're able to catch the exception, the auth exception, and we're going to show it and use our customized snack bar. And then we're going to have a additional catch error for unexpected error occurred. If our sign in with password will be successful, if it is mounted, we're going to navigate to our home page. Then we're going to set our loading to false. Then we're going to override our dispose functionality or our dispose function for the additional controllers to dispose it. And those controller is the email controller and the password controller. Now we're going to build our sign-in UI. So we're going to add the title with a text widget with a value of sign in. So in the body, we will have the email and password and also sign in button. So the body will have a center with a child of column. That column will have a main axis alignment to center. We will have children with text form field. Yes, we're going to wrap the column with form for validation, and we're going to supply the key with our underscore form key. Now in text form field, we will going to add the validator. Then if the value is null and the value is empty, No, we will have an nullable. So if this value is null and empty, we're going to return this string. Then we're going to return it null for now. So in the controller, we will have our email controller. Then we'll have a decoration of input decoration, and we will have label text with a value of email. So the keyword type will be text input type email address. Now we're going to wrap that with padding with symmetry of horizontal 30, a horizontal symmetry of 30. So we're going to copy then we're going to replace some of the return value to please fill up with correct password. Then the controller would be underscore password controller, and the label text would be password, and delete the keyboard type and replace it with obscure text to true. Now we will have a size box with a height of 20 as a spacer. Now let's comment these things. Now for the sign in button, we will have a condition if the loading is true. So we're going to have a size box. If false, so we will have a line button, outline button. Now we're going to add a spacer, and that will be a cons size box with a height of 20. So save that. Now in our size box, we will have a circular progress indicator. Then inside the outline button for sign in, we're going to add a sign in functionality for our button. First, we're going to enable our validation. So we will initialize if a is valid. Now if our validation, or if is valid is not true, it's not equal to true, then we're going to return it for now. Then we're going to initialize a response for our sign in function with email and password with email controller dot text and underscore password controller dot text. Then we're going to clear our controller. Now in our sign in, we initialize our controller, then we add our sign in functionality, then we're going to dispose it, and we have our UI. Okay, it seems that's working. So let's go to sign up page. Click the sign up button. So let's open our sign up underscore page.dart file. Now for our sign up page, we're going to build the UI and sign up functionality as well. Now we're going to initialize additional controller for underscore email controller and the password controller, underscore password controller, and we will have underscore form key for validation, and underscore is loading. No, it must be underscore is loading for loading. Now we're going to initialize that. Now for our underscore email controller, we're going to initialize that for text editing controller, same as underscore password controller. Then in our underscore form key, it will be a global and have an object of form state. So then our underscore is loading will have an initial value of false. So this will be a underscore sign up function and has a sign up functionality. So this function will be a future void underscore sign up sync function. We're going to require email and password. Then we're going to set the loading to true. Then we will have a try catch block to catch the auth exception. Then we're going to await the client the client will automatically import. Then the client auth.sign up. Then we will have our password and email. So here, if the auth is mounted, we're going to navigate to the start page or the my widget page. Now we're going to catch the auth exception, and we're going to show that with our custom show snack bar. And set our loading to false. Then we will have, now we're going to override our dispose function to dispose the additional controller. Those are email controller and password controller. Now we're going to build our sign up UI. Then in the title we will have a text widget with a value of sign up. Then our body will have a center with a child of form key. No, not form key, it's a form widget, and a child of column widget. And we will have a key which is underscore form key. Now inside the column we will have a main axis alignment to center. Then in our children, under the column we'll have a text form key, text form field with a validator of if the value is equal to null or the value is empty. Now we're going to replace our validation in the sign-in with or, not and. So here we're going to return a value. No, not a value, a string. Then we're going to return a null for now. Yeah, we're going to delete this and this. Now we're going to add our controller for the email controller. Then we will have a decorations of input decoration and a label text with a value of email. Then the keyboard type would be an input. No, the text input type would be email address. Now we're going to wrap that a padding with a horizontal symmetry of 30. Then for the password, we're going to copy that text form field, then replace, this would be email, this would be password, and this would be underscore password controller, and the label text would be password. Now delete the keyboard type and enable the obscure text for our password. Now let's add the spacer. That spacer will be size box with a height of 20. Save that. Then we're going to add our button. Now we're going to add another spacer. That would be a size box as well with a height of 20. And then we will have our sign up button. Then it's a conditional. If the loading is true, we will have a size box. If not, we'll have our button, outline button. So with a child of text widget with a value of sign up. Now save that. Now we're going to let's add a child inside the size box with a circular progress indicator. Then inside the outline button for our sign up, we're going to add a functionality. So we're going to have initialize is valid, and then if is valid is not true, it's not equal to true, then we're just return it. Then we're going to have a response for our sign up function, and we will have we're going to supply it with our email controller.text and password controller.text. Then we're going to clear the controller. Now let's try that. Okay, it seems the validation is working, and our sign up, it seems working as well. So inside no, the email is not working, so we're going to it's not working. Why is that? Yeah, so we're going to replace and to or, then save that, and it's working. The validation is working. So yeah, so inside the home page, no, not the home page, here in the main, we're going to change that, close it. Now seems okay. Yeah, we initialize our controller, then we create our sign up function, then we dispose that controllers, then we have our validation, then yeah, and we build our UI. Now we're going to test our sign up and sign in functionality. First, we're going to sign up with our test email. So titile.test@gmail.com. Then we supply with our password. Then click with sign up. It's loading, and now we have a confirmation. So we need to confirm that. Authentication tab, and you see we have a new account creation that needs to be validated or confirmed. So let's go to Gmail and sign in with our email. then let's wait for loading. Now now click confirm, then close that. So reload our application page and you see it's confirmed. Now let's go to our application, let's sign in with our account, and now we're logged in. We actually let's go to our home and we add some UI in our home page. So we will have a center and then a text widget with a value of welcome. See? Then we're going to have a automatic imply leading. So our leading icon would be false, and then we'll supply our title to text widget with a value of Simple CRUD. Now for our home page, now we're going to initialize a controller called underscore data entry controller. And we're going to have a list of data, and that data is a dynamic type. Then we will also have a loading with an initial value of true. So first we're going to have our get data function to get the data functionality. It has a functionality to get the data, and that function is a future list dynamic and get data async function. Then we will have a response, initialize a response. Then it will going to await the Supabase. Now the name of our table is CRUD App. Then so that from table name is a CRUD App. Then we're going to select all from the table user underscore item, that is a column. Then the client that auth that current user that ID, and the current user and the ID as well, and the order would be ID. So we're going to return our object res. Now we're going to have an add data function. So this add data function will have a add or insert data functionality, and that is a future void function with a sync. It would be a sync function, and it will require a data entry. Then we have a initialize a response from our Supabase. Then from the table CRUD App, then we're going to insert our data. Then we will get the current user ID, and then the data entry, and that data entry would be this data entry that we create in the Supabase. So and then we're going to supply the data entry that we wanted to add. Then we're going to return the rest, or our response. Then we will have a update function. That update function will have a update or edit data functionality. So this function would be a future async. So we're going to require an ID and also the data entry as well. So inside this function, we will have a response, and then we will have the table name. Then we're going to update, and we will going to update the data itself. Then we're going to target the ID, and we will going to get the ID, and we're going to return the rest. Now we're going to have our data function, the delete function data. So this functionality have a deletion and removal of data. So this function would be a future void sync function, and we're going to require the ID. Now we're going to have a try catch block here, and then we're going to await the client from the table CRUD app, and we're going to delete the ID that we wanted to delete. Now we're going to catch the auth exception. Then we're going to show a snack bar that we created. And then we're going to create an init list functionality where we're going to initialize the data that we wanted to show, or we're going to initialize the data. So we're going to get the data, and we put that data to a list of value, and we're going to put that inside the data list. And then we're going to set loading to false. Here we're going to initialize our init list, and then we're going to override our, this would be init state, and this would be dispose, and we're going to override our dispose function so that we're going to dispose our controller. Now save that. Now we initialize that, the controller and the data. Then we have a get data, add data, update data, delete data, and we initialized it, our list and init list. We override our init state and dispose function. Now we will have, we're going to create a dialog functionality for adding and updating data. So the name of our function would be _show dialog, and this function would be a future void async function, and we're going to require a builder context name context. We'll have a void function on top that would be a nullable. So we're going to require a data entry, and that would be a controller. So we're going to return a show dialog. We'll have a context, and we're going to then we will have a barrier dismissal to false. Then our builder will return a alert dialog with a title with a widget of your data, then the content with a content of single child scroll view, and we'll have a child of list body, and the list body will have a children of text field, and that text will have a controller of data entry controller, and that will give a decoration of text, cons input decoration with a label of data. Now we will we'll add an action button, or we're going to have an action, and we're going to supply that with text button. That text button would be cancel, and we're going to copy that, and this would be done button. This would be a done button. Then the cancel we're going to navigate to the home page itself, where we're going to pop that context. We're going to pop that context. So we're going to navigate to the home page, and then we're going to supply the done button with our on top. So we will have a floating action button with a child of icon.add. So in the on press, we will going to add a functionality for floating action button. So we're going to call our _show dialog here, and we're going to supply the context, data entry, and on top. So here we're going to show the add data function, set the loading to true, and we supply our add data here with _data entry controller.text. Then we clear our data entry controller here as well. Then we navigate to our home page. If we're done, then we're going to get the data or reload our list of data. Now save that. For the body, it will have a condition where it allows us to display, update, or delete our data. So here, if loading is true, we will going to display a circular progress indicator widget, and then if not, we will have a constraints box with constraint or box constraint. Then with a child of data is empty, it's like a condition as well. If the data is empty, we're going to show a center widget, or else we're going to have a list view.builder. So inside the center, we will have a child of text widget with the data with a value of no data entry. So in our list view.builder widget, we will supply an item count with the data length. Then in item view, we will have a function, and it will return an expansion tile. And okay, we'll save that, and then replace we're going to give a value in it we'll give a value of a title, a text widget. Now we're going to show the value of the data. So here we will have a button of delete and an edit. So let's have a text button with a child of text widget called with a value of delete. And copy that text button, paste it, and we're going to replace the text widget with a value of edit. Save that. We have an delete and edit button. So we're going to add a delete button functionality as well. So we're going to set the is loading to true, then our delete function. So yeah, we're going to supply with the data index and get the ID, and we're going to copy this one. Something, oh no, we're inside with the set state, so we're going to move our delete function, delete data function, and our list value. Yeah, save it, and we will going to set the loading to false. Save it. Save it. Now this one will delete the data. We're going to use our dialog, then we're going to supply the context and data entry and on top as well. So that function, the anonymous function, will be a sync function, and we're going to have a update function here and supply the ID and data entry. Then we're going to clear the data entry controller, then we're going to copy paste this one, then we're going to set the loading to false. Save that. Now let's try data 1. Okay, edit to data hello, done. Why it's not okay? There's something wrong. Yeah, we need to navigate. We navigate to the home page, so we're going to pop the context. So pop that context. We're going to move here. Okay, save that. Edited. Okay, delete that. It's loading properly. What else? Edit. Okay, all functionality is good. What else? What can we do? Here we initialize our controller and list, get data, add data, update data, delete data, and init list. We have init state and dispose, and we have our dialog. And then what else? Yeah, we implement our functionality. Okay, data one. What else? What else? Yeah, it's not loading, so let's try let's have a action, and we supply it with an equal widget and have an on top. So copy paste that. This would be an await function, async function. Oh yeah, we need to supply a child. Yeah, this would be a child. Have a child of icon. We're going to supply a child. This would be an icon. Refresh. Yeah. Save that. The widget. Oh yeah. So it's too closer. So let's add a padding. That only right to 10. Save that. Now let's set here the loading to true, and here would be false. Set our loading to false. Now it's loading. Okay, we can refresh our data lists. Now let's add another data. Reload it. Okay, another data as well. Edit our data one to data hello. Refresh. Our data is actually edited. Again, what else? Okay, data high. Now let's play with our application. Thank you for watching. Hope you liked it.